Hello, and welcome to the Alone Zone. As always, my name is Chris, and it's been a long time coming. Now, this video was supposed to be uploaded on the 25th of February. Here's what happened. After many months of not having a camera, finally came across another one at the thrift store for $5. It is a 2010 Kodak Easy Share, so it's not a new camera, but it's newer than what I was using. Now, the video quality is going to be standard, but look, all I do is sit here and talk. In the future, I would love to have a camera that I can take with me that is made for movement. A camera like this, no way. It's going to pick up all the ambient sounds, it's going to pick up the wind, the audio is going to be terrible, and the camera is just going to, it's just going to be jumpy. No point in that. A camera that I would need would be some of these adventure cameras that were made, for movement. A camera that's steady, basically, that I can take it with me, not going to pick up all these ambient sounds, and it's going to be steady. I want to take you through a day in my life, what I go through, what it's like to be lonely 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But back to what I was saying. So I got this camera, and I recorded that short video telling everyone that I was coming back. What happened? It corrupted my SD card. The SD card, I've had it for probably 5 years. And it's been used in 4 different cameras, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it moving it around or whatever, but it was corrupted. So I tore apart my room, not literally, but I was searching through a bunch of old stuff, and I came across another SD card. It turns out I remembered that I had bought 2 5 years ago, and I only ever used the one because that's really, I would record a video, I would upload it, and then delete it, so I never needed to go into the other card. Plus it's 4 gigabytes, more than enough space. I don't have any pictures stored, anything I've ever, any pictures that I've uploaded or videos, everything instantly got deleted. So I don't know why the SD card corrupted, but it did. So I'm like, shit. Luckily for me, I did come across another one. So cross my fingers that all is well. So first video back, I want to tell the story of the tornado warning Tuesday evening. I touched down 2 miles from my house, so I knew it was going to be bad weather all through the night. Oh yeah, I don't look very good. I'm not very unkempt, I guess is how it's called. I keep my beard trimmed, but this, not very good. So I've been super depressed. Usually I have short hair. I hate long hair, but I'm really depressed, and I just don't care. Now, it's odd. I don't care about cutting this and going to the barber shop and sitting down for 5 minutes and getting my head shaved, but I don't mind trimming my beard. Now, if I could cut my own hair, I would, but I'm fat, and when you're fat, you get a roll in the back of your head, and I could cut my hair. Problem is the roll. The hair, lift, because when I go to a barber shop, they have to lift the back of my head, like push it up to get up in there, to cut the hair even. I can't do that on my own. At least I don't think I could. I'm not even going to try it. And being super depressed, you go to a barbershop, they like to talk, and I'm not a talker. And one of the oddest, or I guess hardest things when you have social anxiety is being in a setting where you kind of have to talk. So you get to the barbershop, you sit down, and the barber likes to talk and ask questions and tell stories and what have you. And something I've never been good at, and I've been going to the same barbershop for years. You'd think I'd be accustomed to it, but I don't like to talk. I just want to get in there and get out, and I feel it's rude to not talk, and as depressed as I've been, it's something I just don't want to go do. So anyways, I know I've always been guilty of jumping around, but anyways, back to the tornado warning. So I knew bad weather was coming in. So here it is, 7 p.m., and out in the Gulf of Mexico, there is a series of severe thunderstorms coming, heading straight for Pensacola. So out there with their new technology the weather stations have, they were able to detect that there was a rotation out inside one of these cells. So now with the technology, it detects rotation, but it doesn't know if it's just in the atmosphere, if it's all the way to the ground. So they were assuming it was a water spout. Most of the time water spouts, once they get to land, they deteriorate. However, this was just a rotation in the atmosphere. Then it got to land. At about 7:15, the first time ever in my life, I'm sitting here watching the news, watching the weather coverage throughout the whole evening as this was going on. I heard an eerie sound in the distance. It was a tornado siren. I've never in my life heard a tornado siren, and my heart sunk. And I actually thought I was going to die. I said, oh my God, if they're blaring that, that means a tornado is here. And given the news, the directions of path, see, I live in a subdivision of Pensacola called Myrtle Grove. They said it was coming right for Myrtle Grove. So the power started flickering. And I lost cell phone service, so it's not like I could, I have a landline phone, but the power was flickering. That was no good. Because it's one of these internet phones, so it's not hooked to like it's not one of them old. It's like, God, how to describe it? Most people don't have landline phones anymore, but it's like your standard landline phone. Pick up. It's not one of the phones that you plug into the wall jack, and it's got a cord or anything that works with or without power. No, this phone requires power. So cell phone service completely dead. I have a cheap track phone. You're not getting good service with what I have. So the power was flickering, but the power went off for about 30 minutes. It flickered for a little bit and then went off, so I had no idea what was going on. The siren was blaring, so I had no idea. I was like, oh, I'm going to die. And I'm not religious. I do believe in a higher power, but I'm not religious. I grabbed my Bible. I cut the flashlight on. I sat in my living room in a chair, holding the Bible, just flipping through it, looking for any type of verse or scripture, because I don't know. I don't read the Bible. Like I said, I'm not religious. About life and death. And I actually thought I was going to die. The whole time the power is out, it's pitch black. You see lightning flashes, you hear thunder, the wind is whipping. I have window air conditioning units, and if you have a window air conditioning unit, it has the plastic side pieces, that make it fit into the window. Well, where I was sitting, I'm sitting right next to a window air conditioning unit. Those got blown out. I'm getting wind blowing directly in. It's whistling. It's like, oh my God, especially with the tornado siren in the background. I'm like, this is it. And immediately this is what runs through my head. I've never cared for life. I've been depressed since I was 12. I've attempted suicide twice. I've always, not been fond of life because of the stuff that I've been through and the way I've been treated, and just all these things and desires and dreams that just never came to fruition, and the depression just eating me alive and not being able to kick it. But for this very moment, I didn't want to die, and maybe it's because it wasn't on my terms. You would think someone that is as low on the totem pole as me and as depressed as me would be excited, like, this is it, this is how I'm going to die, my life's finally over, all this depression, everything's over, it's done. No. I didn't want to die on that night. And for whatever reason, and since I haven't been able to make videos and share this, it's because I have a little ounce of hope, I don't want to die not knowing if my dream of love is ever going to come true. And for that brief moment, like, this is it though, I'm going to die, and I live in a trailer, so as soon as those blew out, like, the winds are just blowing in, it's going to lift the roof off of this thing, and that's it. So even though it's like I'm looking at a window unit right now, I'm not going to move the camera or nothing, but no, this is not the same window unit, I'm in a different room, but I'd say it's probably about 4 inches across on each side. 2 gaping holes, the wind's just blowing in. I don't know why. I guess the air conditioner didn't fall out of the window because the window was actually holding it down. But I'm like, this is it. And so anyways, the tornado siren had to be going off for a good 15 minutes straight. But eventually it ended, and that whole time, that was like the scariest night of my life. I've lived through 4 hurricanes that I can remember. Hurricane Aaron and Opal in 1995, Hurricane Ivan, which was Category 3 at landfall, strong Category 3, which completely devastated Pensacola, Florida. Just destroyed Pensacola. It was terrible. And Hurricane Dennis. and various tropical storms. I can't remember all the names of those because they were low-level tropical storms, but I've never been this scared in my life, and I wasn't even scared during Hurricane Ivan. And it was like, you know, eventually, you know, the siren ended, the rain slowed down, the lightning flashes weren't as, there were like constant lightning flashes. They were dying down, the thunder had died down, and the power came back on. So this is between the 7 and 8 p.m. Like I said, at 7 p.m. is when the tornado was over the Gulf, and they said it was coming in with this cell, and it was headed for Myrtle Grove. About 7:15, it started flickering, went out completely at 7:25, came back on 30 minutes later, about 5 minutes till 8. And so the tornado siren probably started at about 7:20, and it lasted for 15 minutes. So I was 5 minutes of the power flickering with a tornado siren, and 10 minutes in the pitch black with it. So it comes back on, and the news starts trickling in at about 9 o'clock now. The storm reports are coming in. A tornado touched down 2 miles from Myrtle Grove. The rotation was in the atmosphere, but it hadn't touched down. So what came over me, it was up there. It was brutal. It was just spinning, but the tornado wasn't all the way to the ground. It touched down 2 miles from Myrtle Grove, due north, or probably northeast of Myrtle Grove. And when it came over us, like I said, the spin was still in the atmosphere. So it was really violent and windy, and it blew that out. I thought the roof was going to blow off my trailer. I went outside. I'm not big on climbing ladders. Actually, I'm afraid of heights. I didn't know that, but I climbed up a ladder and swept off my roof because a lot of limbs and stuff fell on there, and shingles were missing. But so we find out that it destroyed along the bay. I-10 is a major interstate in the United States of America, and there's a bridge over I-10, and right in that area is where it touched down 2 miles from me. And completely tore up an apartment complex called the Mooring Apartments. It blew over some townhomes. GE Westinghouse has a plant here. I don't know what they do there, but it demolished 2 of their buildings, and no one died. But yeah, and I like to think though that if it touched down over my trailer park, everyone in this trailer park would have died, because the apartments and the townhomes, those are big, huge, sturdy, strong buildings, and I believe the reason those people lived is because of that. Had it touched down here, we would have all died. These trailers, there's no safe place in a trailer. I was just sitting in the middle of my trailer. Like, there's nowhere to go in my trailer. There's like, it's a trailer and it's 30 years old. But yeah, so in that night thinking, oh my God, this is it, and then not wanting to go out like that. The scariest thing in your life, you know, if you've never heard a tornado siren before, you don't want to hear it. I still hear it. Here we are 6 days later, and I'm still hearing it in my sleep. If I hear like an ambulance or a fire truck coming, it doesn't sound like an ambulance or a fire truck. It sounds like that damn tornado siren. And that'll stick with me. And even though I'm good and everything, but still, you know, it's something you never forget. I don't know why I grabbed the Bible. Something I did. Even though I'm not, like I said, I'm not religious. Just grabbing the Bible. I don't know. It's natural instinct, I guess. Because I'm sitting in the dark, pitch black, but I have my flashlight, you know, flipping through, looking for a verse about life. I never found anything concrete. I was just flipping. Like, I was just shaking. Like, I really couldn't think, really. But then as the reports came in, we're hearing everything. It's like, man, that could easily been me, and that could have really been it. And even though no one died, it's still like, why does this have to happen to people, you know? And here's the thing, though. A couple days later, I was reminded, I ride the city bus, as some of you may know now. I used to have a mobile sanctuary. I don't. Never will again, probably, but someone on the city bus, they were talking about it, and about a week before this happened, a woman in a ghetto, poverty-stricken area, where they don't have central heating. She has an old school, like a kerosene heater, I suppose. Anyways, her house burned down, and she lost four out of 5 of her children, ages between 11 and 11 months. And one of the 11 month was about to turn a year old that particular Saturday coming up. And so on the bus they were talking about, yeah, these people lost their material possessions. They don't have a place to live right now, but FEMA is going to, it's state of emergency declared, so FEMA will come in within a month to 2 months. They'll have these FEMA trailers that are given to disaster prone areas. They'll set up a temporary trailer park. They'll have these small FEMA trailers, and FEMA will cut these people checks for their monetary losses. Now, it's probably not going to cover everything, but they're going to be, in the interim, they're going to have a place to stay. They're going to have a little bit of money. This poor woman lost 4 out of 5 of her children. And she's still alive, but she's going to be haunted the rest of her life. She's going to go through the rest of her life knowing that material possessions are one thing, but she can't get her children back. And it got me back full circle. Yeah, I've got all my problems, but damn, I'm not going through anything like that. And I'm going to make a whole nother video about my new perspective on life and death and my issues and what I go through on a daily basis. After all this has happened, I've got a whole new perspective, and that's going to be for another video and another time. This is my first video back, and it's been a while since I made one, so I wanted to share this story with you. But through all of it, and then hearing the stories on the city bus afterwards, and realizing, hey, wait, this woman lost 4 children. And if I was in that situation, I don't think I could live. I think I would immediately just take myself out of it. I could not continue to live the rest of my life knowing that 4 out of 5 of my kids are gone. And yeah, one of them survived, but just knowing she tried to get them out, but it couldn't because she lived in an older home in a poverty-stricken area, and the flames just spread like wildfire. The kids were asleep. As a matter of fact, when the firefighters found the kids, they were all sleeping together. The 4 who died, they shared a room, and they were all huddled together because it was cold. And they had the kerosene heater going, and I also think they had issues with their gas water heater. For whatever reason, they had a gas water heater, but they didn't have like a gas regular heater. They were using a kerosene heater, and I think both of those, from what I understand, it was either the kerosene heater or maybe it was the water, but something happened and it caused the house to go up, and because it's an older house, it just went. And so yeah, the tornado victims lost their material possessions. They didn't lose lives. And you can replace those, like I said, FEMA's going to help them. But this woman, FEMA's not going to help her. Yeah, she'll get help from, charities, but they're not going to be able to give her children back. So, something I'm going to start in my videos, for anyone who watches, it's in the comment section down below. I like to utilize it. I'm going to do my best to check in and keep up with it. I'm not going to keep up with it. Maybe like the first week after I post the video, I'll be semi-active in it. If I see something, a comment posted that I particularly like, I will reply to it. But yeah, I want to start up a conversation. What is worse to you? Being in a tornado, losing all your material possessions but surviving, or being in a house fire and losing family members? Which one would you rather have? And if you did lose a family member in a house fire, knowing you tried to get them out but couldn't, could you live the rest of your life, or would you want to end it? Or just down below, it's the question of the week. Tornado, material possessions but still alive, or house fire where you still live but you lose family members. Which one would you rather? So that's it for this episode, the return episode of the Alone Zone, and I'll be back. I'm going to try to do 3 videos a week. I'm going to try to stick to that. Now, days, more than likely, it's probably going to be on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, it feels good to be back, to be able to talk, to open up a conversation, and just get stuff off my chest and share with you guys. And my videos aren't going to all be about me. I'm going to talk about things and going on in the United States, where I live, talk about things that are passionate to me, and just share whatever I want to get off my chest, whatever I feel like talking about. That's what I'm going to do. So, as having no friends in my daily life and being a loner, well, This is my friend the camera. You people who click on youtube.com and go to my neck of the woods, the Alone Zone channel here, you are my outlet, and you're the ones that I am speaking to. So thank you for watching, and there'll be more to come later. Peace.